We are live. You want to wait a minute?
Rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Remain standing for a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Sunshine Law.
Notice requirements of the New Jersey Public Meetings Law have been satisfied by noticing the Asbury Park Press and the Two River Times on January 3rd, 2026, stating that a regular meeting of the Colts Neck Township Committee would be held on January 14th, 2026, 7 p.m., Town Hall, 1 Veterans Way, Colts Neck. A copy is on file in the office of the Township Clerk. Further, notice was provided to the Asbury Park Press and the Two River Times on January 4th, 2026, noting the meeting time change from 7 p.m. to 6:30 p.m.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Buzzetto.
Here.
Committeeman Rizzuto. Us.
Here.
Committeeman Tabia.
Here.
Mayor Viola.
Here. Item number 6, Resolution 2026-28, Executive Session. Whereas Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-12, exclusion of the public from meeting certain circumstances, and whereas the Colts Neck Township Committee finds such circumstances presently exist, now therefore be it resolved that the Colts Neck Township Committee as follows. The public shall be excluded from discussion of any action upon hereafter specified subject matter. The general nature of the subject matter to be discussed is as follows. Potential litigation, confidential pursuant to NJSA 10:4-12B7. The committee will take no action during closed executive session. It is anticipated that the session will last approximately 30 minutes. It is anticipated that the time of the above stated subject matter will be made public when the need for confidentiality no longer exists. This resolution shall become effective immediately. May I have a motion?
Moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Public will be back in approximately 30 minutes.
I didn't.
I just want somebody, if you have Verizon, FaceTime works, you can make phone calls on FaceTime.
Okay, I didn't have any problems.
Oh, well, you don't have Verizon?
I don't know.
You must have T-Mobile or AT&T.
No, I'm fine. Thank you, though.
Good evening.
Now my Wi-Fi is, do you have Verizon?
No.
No,
I can't afford that.
What do you have?
I went to Boost Mobile.
Which one?
Boost. My bill went from $130 a month to $25.
Are you kidding?
That's where I went. You don't get a bill. It just hit your debit account and you get it. That's what you pay. If you save $110. It was worth it. And my neighbors got covered. They didn't have problems. It's okay.
You don't have to pay. It's just the one that.
It's not like that. It's on your file. Every month they give you $25. 26 with tax. Cheap. So I said, $1,000 a year. You see my little note about the,
I can't.
oh, you can't.
I'm like,
So this woman turned around and wrote about the mayor in Miami on Facebook. And it hit a red light, red flare, and 2 police officers showed up at the door. They wanted to check her, and she was like, "No." She's exercising her right to reach. I don't know if they showed her around the house. She didn't like it pushed around. The tonight should be is death.
I don't know. It just says discussion for housing.
Which is maybe not fair. No.
It's not good.
It was not fair.
Michelle.
The check. Again. Well, I don't know shit about that. I'll say, well, I love.
Hey, Christine. Hey, how are you? Kevin. Do you have a Verizon?
No.
Because I don't have my phone, and now I'm listening to it.
I get
It's
it.
the whole East Coast.
Verizon? Really?
It's scary.
The whole East Coast?
Oh, maybe that's what's wrong. Maybe it's my fault.
You have Verizon? Oh. No, I don't. No, I don't. Hello?
This is my spot. We're swearing two roles. Regular and class. I have a thought for you if you have a minute. Sure. Just let me get this real quick. You guys can come up to the front. They'll do the swearing in. You can take any of these seats. They usually put some stuff down here, but any seats in the front if you want pictures. They're gonna actually have everybody up here. They're swearing in there. They'll get this out of the way. So you take pictures. So it's parents, not as parents. Okay. So that's awesome. When they come in, you just have them sit.
We're all in.
Okay.
Gail went to the man.
She's rude.
Yes.
It's all real. He was good until the late afternoon. Oh, yeah.
I swear, someone plays with my chair. They really do. Yeah, always.
May I have a motion to return to public?
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 7, minutes. December 10th executive session, December 10th, 2025 regular session. We'll do those two together, and then we'll do the reorg separately. Are there any comments or changes to the minutes?
No, and I'm happy to move that.
Is there a second?
Deputy Mayor Pizzata?
Yes.
Committeeman Rizzuto?
Yes.
Committeewoman Bus?
Yes.
Mayor Viola?
Yes.
Motion passes.
January 2nd, 2026 reorganization minutes. In addition to the agenda, your agenda is a little off in there. We had to make some last-minute changes. Any comments or additions, edits, or changes to the reorganization minutes? May I have a motion.
Moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Pizzata?
Yes.
Committeeman Rizzuto?
Yes.
Committeewoman Bus?
Yes.
Committeeman Tabia?
Yes.
Mayor Viola?
Yes. We're going to go a little bit out of order from the agenda that was published in the back. We're going to swear in the new officers, followed by the presentation by the chief. Then they're going to go out and do their thing, and then we'll continue. New business, Resolution 2026-29, confirming the hiring of probation police officer Connor McDevitt. Are there any comments?
Connor came highly recommended by the chief and by some other agencies. Highly recommended by the department. He seems like he's going to be a great addition. I see his family's here tonight to share in this special occasion. Remember it, enjoy it, and be safe. All right.
May I have a motion?
Moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Pizzata?
Yes.
Committeeman Rizzuto?
Yes.
Committeewoman Bus?
Yes.
Committeeman Tabia?
Yes.
Mayor Viola?
Yes.
Motion
Going to
passes.
ask Liaison Rizzuto to swear him in. Chief, if you want to say any words about Connor?
Chief, hit that button. It's on the top. Nope. On the top.
Oh, it's on.
I don't think it's on.
I'll talk loud.
Okay.
Okay. Today, we proudly welcome Connor McDevitt as a patrolman in our department. Connor is a resident of Morganville, New Jersey, and earned his bachelor's degree from Rowan University in 2022. He's a graduate of the Ocean County Police Academy, completing his training June 2025. Connor previously served as a Special Law Enforcement Officer 1 and 2 for Long Branch Police Department. We congratulate Mr. McDevitt and welcome him to the team.
Who are you calling up to hold the Bible? My mom, my dad, my sister. Your mom and your dad and your sister. So we're gonna move
Family
on this
affair.
way. You're all gonna face this way during the swearing. If you come in.
Mom gets the closest.
Yeah, you get the closest. But we're all gonna face this way when we get sworn in. No, come on in. Take it all in
I was
here.
gonna say,
But I want you to-
that desk
I want you
does
to-
roll.
I want you to face this way in
Wanna
case
push
you
that a
take pictures, right? Please, right hand.
See on top?
Represent both of us now. I, Connor McDevitt,
I, Connor McDevitt,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and the governments established
and the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in the state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties of,
perform all the duties of
here we go, probationary police officer, Colts Neck Township Police Department,
probationary police officer of Colts Neck Township Police Department.
to the best of my ability,
To the best of my ability,
and I will not use my office
and I will not use my office
to grant preferential treatment,
to grant preferential treatment,
nor to seek personal gain,
nor to seek personal gain,
favor, or advantage
favor, or advantage.
not available to the general public, so help me God.
Just repeat that.
Not available to the general public,
Not available to the general public,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thanks so much. Congratulations. One more time for him. Chief's going to say a little bit about our next officer getting sworn in. I know we have a great program here where we bring in specials. Sometimes people go through other special, programs and come here, but we also bring people up through our special program here. It's a good way to try out people as we get to know them, and then if the position opens up and if everybody here approves, they move up into to that spot.
Okay, next up is Anthony Cassiano. He's a resident of Hazlet, New Jersey. He earned his bachelor's degree from Rutgers University in 2024. He graduated from the Monmouth County Police Academy with his Class 2 certification and currently till now worked at Monmouth Beach Police Department. Everything we got from Monmouth Beach was great, and we look forward to having him here, and hopefully he'll join us as a full-time officer. We'd love to have you, but right now the 2 is where you're going to be, and I know you'll make us proud. Thank you.
We need to adopt the resolution first. Frank? Need to adopt the resolution first.
Resolute, Mayor.
Resolution 2026-30, confirming the hiring of SLEO 2 Anthony Casiano. May I have a motion?
Moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Bezetta.
Yes.
Committeeman Rizzuto.
Yes.
Committeewoman Bus.
Yes.
Committeeman Tibia.
Yes.
Mayor Viola.
Yes. It's up to you now.
I should have probably sat back down, but I didn't. All right, who's coming up for you? All right. Come on up. Now, face this way, so I won't take pictures. Nobody wants me, so. There you go. Kind of face, and sideways. Look. There we go. I, Anthony State your name.
I, Anthony Cassiano,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties of.
perform all the duties of
You got a good one here. Ready? Special Law Enforcement Officer 2, Colts Neck Township Police Department.
Special Law Enforcement Officer 2, Colts Neck Township Police Department.
Got it. To the best of my ability,
To the best of my ability,
and I will not use my office
and that I will not use my office
to grant preferential treatment
to grant preferential treatment
or to seek personal gain,
or to seek personal gain,
favor, or advantage
favor, or advantage
not available to the general public.
not available to the general public.
So help me God.
So help me God.
You're official.
Congratulations. Chief, you want to take some photographs? You want to get the department up?
They're doing it right here. This is where I go to witness protection.
I'll meet you back.
We made the change. Todd, go to the end.
Come up here and sit.
Thank you to the Colts Neck Police Department.
Be safe out there.
Hi. Happy New Year, my love. We're good. Yes, yes. Here, he was at rework. Yeah, he was in full uniform. Yeah, he's doing it. Hello, my friend. Happy New Year. Thank you so much. See you later.
We're going to continue this meeting. Can I ask you to take it out, please? We have two presentations to the governing body on the agenda. We're going to ask the chief to come first so that he can join his team and their friends and families at their celebration of their new department members. Chief DeVito? You're on.
Good evening, everyone. First off, I'd like to thank the committee here. Mayor and
You could just hold it.
Yeah, just
council
hold it.
for all your support. Business administrator, always having my back. Township attorney.
Stay open.
So I'd like to start with that, especially where the new housing coming in. It's going to be a little tough for us. So they approved the new officers, which were sworn in. That'll give us a little breathing room to deal with the influx of residents coming in. So thank you guys for your support. I appreciate it, and hopefully we'll continue to have your support. The first thing I'd like to talk about is last month, December, we had our reaccreditation on-site assessment. Now, this is a 3-year process of proofs. Accreditation manager Savage, he just walked out, but he's the one that oversees it all. It is a lot of work. I used to do it when I was a lieutenant. You have to pretty much prove everything and that you're abiding by the best standards and policies. So they came on site. It was a full day of before going through all our computer systems, making sure all the proofs were in. There's hundreds, almost 1,000 proofs that's got to be uploaded, showing that we're in compliance. Next day was Monday. We had the assessors show up. They go through our headquarters, our evidence vault, pretty much everything. A full day of work to make sure that we're in compliance and we are going by the best standards and practices. Everything went really well, but we have a hearing and it's going to be about March or April where we have to attend, and then we'll get final approval, which the signs are going that we'll get that approval. So we'll keep you updated as we go, but that is a really proud moment. And again, what we do is important with the policies, procedures, putting things in place, but all those officers you just saw there, they're the ones that are out there. They're wearing the body cams, they're getting recorded, they're getting challenged, and they're the ones that are putting the work in and making us all look good and keeping us safe. So that's definitely a point I wanted to really hit home. And again, that's the committee supporting us with moving towards accreditation. And this is only our second time. So we got accredited 3 years ago, and this is now a reaccred, but they continue to support it, which is huge for us because the officers are going by the best practices and standards. So I don't want to bore you with more of that, but that was a very proud moment for us to end the year. This year, we're going to have some challenges. We got an influx of residents coming in. We all know we'll have some traffic issues, some public safety issues. We have a school right there. We have a park right there. We're very proactive with what's going on. Behind the scenes, we are on top of it. We working with the county with traffic. It's County Road there, 537. A lot's coming together, but we know it's going to be a lot of people, a lot of traffic issues, but we're going to do what we need to do to make sure everyone's safe and we don't have any extra problems in town. That's our number one goal, and we'll continue to do that. And anyone that has questions, concerns, reach us anytime. Come and have a meeting with us. I'll leave business cards, whatever you need to do. And if we can help address it, some things we can't, but whatever we can do to help you guys, we'll do it. That's how we want to operate. On the other side here, I did a 3-year study from 2023 to 2025. So we had over 45,000 incidents in that 3-year time period. So every year, we're getting more and more calls. The good news is we have burglaries, assaults, motor vehicle thefts, property thefts. All those major crimes are significantly decreasing in those 3-year period when I got the statistics, which is great news. We're doing extra patrols in certain areas, and these things seem to be trending in the right direction, what we're doing behind the scenes. So that's real proud, and you can't hide the stats. We got them right from the Sheriff's Crimes. They dispatch for us. They give us the request the information. We get the data, and then we use it to different areas, different times of days, different crimes, and we use it to our advantage. So there's some other tricks in there we're using, but I got to say, a huge reduction. Motor vehicle theft, we were getting crushed for a while, and we're getting minimal. And the last one we had was on New Year's Eve, and the vehicle was left unlocked with the keys inside it, parked in the street while the resident was on vacation. Definitely could have been prevented. So
Take me, please.
what are you doing there? But besides that, we're seeing big reductions with that. Traffic crashes, we're staying consistent with that. And fraud. Fraud's another big area we're having some issues with. Everyone's having issues with them, just with the internet and these grandma scams, grandpa scams. So basically, some tips for you guys are verify all requests, never share personal information with anybody, report attempts immediately to us, use strong passwords, monitor financial accounts, be cautious of unsolicited emails, calls, or texts. And if you're unsure, if anything, call the police department right away. That's what I was going to hit home next. We don't close. Our administration might close inside the building. We are a 24-hour operation. Patrols are on the road all the time. So if you have a question, a concern, call us. Because we get that a lot of times. Oh, I don't want to bother you guys. Oh, I thought you were closed. I don't. And guess what? It's time. And with investigations, time matters. And possibly you get someone on the phone and it doesn't sound right. We can come and make sure and verify for it. Save some time. But the key is don't give out any information and make sure you're on top of all your accounts. And as far as the vehicles and homes, you guys have been, kudos to you guys because the stats are down. So that means more people are locking their cars, except for the one left in the street locked. Using surveillance systems, lighting, all those tools are helping us. And we are getting the suspicious vehicle reports, which helps us. So people are calling us saying, oh, there's a vehicle there. We get there, investigate it. What are you doing here? Then we can catch them in the act. So it's important. The numbers are showing that everyone's kind of doing their part here, which is big because a lot of towns were getting hit hard with the vehicle thefts and the burglaries, and ours are trending down, and hopefully we'll continue to. But we can't do it without you. So we need you guys, your eyes and ears. See something, say something. It's not, I never want to hear that, and I never would accept that from an officer to be bothered by that. This is our job. We're out there. Call us. It's not a bother. Some upcoming events we're going to be doing is we're doing National Night Out again, obviously. Coffee with a Cop. We're going to keep hosting those. Those are good events to casual, to get conversations, questions, and they've been working out pretty well. We're going to continue the car seat installation checkpoints with our traffic safety unit. We have certified technicians that can help install car seats. We're going to do some of those. We're going to try and run the youth academy. We didn't have the numbers last year, but we're going to try and launch that again this summer if we can get the numbers. And two big things, which the one is a big topic right now, e-bike safety. We are going to our schools starting this year with our traffic safety unit is going in and doing education and presentations for the students. And we're having our detective bureau put together a fraud prevention seminar because that's kind of staying steady and a little uptick. And they're going to be going to the seniors meeting and doing a presentation for the seniors on that. Again, so the things I really want to hit home here, because that came up, is we are a 24-hour operation. We're not closed. If we're not here and no one's answered the door, the line's not going to call 911. Even if it's not that big of an emergency, if you can't get in touch with anyone, the building's locked, call 911 and they'll get somebody. So I don't want to hear that, oh yeah, no one was there, I left and went there, or I should just go to another police department. We are out there. We do not close. That's old state police days. And when we first started, we were in 24-hour coverage. We are 24-hour coverage, and we have cars in each zone covering the town. And again, thanks to the committee, we're able to add additional patrols to deal with the influx of residents coming in. And we're going to do whatever we need to do to make sure everyone here is safe. So again, I'll leave some business cards. If you guys need anything, my number's on it, my email's on it. Let me know. I can't answer it. I'll get you the person. But sometimes it's a prosecutor's office question or a different unit. I'll get you that answer and I'll get back to you. So I look forward to a strong year here. I know we'll have some challenges, but we'll all work together. Keep doing what you're doing, and we'll go from there.
Thank you, Chief.
Mayor, before you go to the next item, I have a couple questions and comments.
We want to keep this a presentation.
Yes, I have a couple
Chief.
comments and questions regarding the police chief. So I'd like to commend the Colts Neck Police Department for your professionalism and standards that you've established. It was a pleasure working with you over the years when I was at the county, and will continue to do so here on this dais. Just two questions I have, and I'm assuming that the officers that were hired, that was all planned last year. Is there a staffing analysis study going to be planned for the future high-density housing and future development coming in for additional officers?
Yes, for this development that's opening Lavarna, we did a study on that. We just talked to other towns who have similar buildings like that, and took the numbers and built off the two officers to help bring our manpower during the busiest times. Deal with that.
And that'll be a continual assessment as we move forward with development?
Absolutely.
Okay.
If something else comes in, we sit down, we assess it. We had meetings and we took numbers from surrounding towns that had similar sized developments and their numbers. I dissected those numbers, and of course, I have no crystal ball. I don't know. But judging from what they used, the surrounding towns with these size units, traffic issues, complaints, traffic risk calls. So we feel confident that, again, I have a crystal ball, we'll be in a good position when this opens.
Okay.
As far as others, we'll have to revisit it as we move along.
Okay, thank you. And just one other question, either for the
I'm
administrator.
sorry, can I
or-
just interrupt? If you could just use the mic, because the
Oh.
people at home won't be able to hear you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, it's more for the picking up the sound.
And
for
just
that
one other
call.
question, either for the administrator or the township committee. Who's the appropriate authority over the police department?
That would be the governing body, sir.
Thank you. I think we should have a further discussion in the future that should be switched to the administrator, but that can be saved for a later date. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you all.
Next presentation, the Colts Neck 250th Committee. Chairwoman Sue Fitzpatrick and Connie DeMeo. They're going to inform the governing body of the plans for the year to celebrate the semi-quincentennial of the United States. Thank you, Chief. Chief's cards are here for the public later on. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's okay. I'll just sign
Thank you, Sue.
Should I test it? Test, test.
Yes, thank you. It's working.
So I'm not sure if I should be standing this way and talking to everybody this way, stand this way, and talk to everybody that way, but.
Use the mic, we'll be able to
Yeah,
hear
just
you.
grab the
a little
mic and
awkward, a little
talk
awkward.
everywhere.
So in 2024, I volunteered to chair the 250th for Colts Neck. And so in that time, we've been planning a lot of different events. What I wanted to do is a twofold purpose was to make sure that we add to what we're currently doing and not creating a whole avenue of events because the county, the state, and the nation is going to be celebrating 250th. So we have a lot of things going on with Colts Neck, so we're just expanding on them. The second thing was to make sure that we include all different committees, walks of life, age groups into helping with the celebration. And I think we've done that, and we have some really great ideas. So I'm just gonna, I'm not gonna go through everything that we have planned for the year, but I'll highlight a couple of things. The first thing is our kickoff is February 22nd. I had talked about this last year, and that happens to be George Washington's birthday. And so we're gonna have a celebration, a happy birthday for George at the historic Colts Neck Inn. And it'll be a sit-down dinner, 5 to 8 p.m. And it'll be 4 courses. We actually have Lisa Laird working on this for us because her family started at Laird's. And so she has some old-fashioned family recipes that we're going to use. She's also creating a punch from Laird Applejack, which will be served on the table in punch bowls. We're trying to keep it in kind of the feeling of Williamsburg, that colonial feeling, welcoming. It'll be like a family style, tables of 10. We also have some reenactors coming. I mean, we have to have George Washington, and he's going to bring Martha. And we also have Joshua Huddy coming. There's a minstrel group that's going to come, harpsichord, a flute, a violin, and they're going to teach us how to do a reel or a country dance. So it's a lot of fun, a lot of activities. You can come in costume. And we do have some sites available that you can either rent or purchase a costume. And you can use it throughout the whole year because we have a lot of activities coming up. So it won't go to waste just for that one night. I'm going to leave some cards in the back about the event. And I will say that the Colts Neck Business Association has graciously volunteered to sponsor this event for us. So we will run everything through them because they have that technology. They have the ability to use the QR code, and you can pay for your tickets online. So I'm going to leave some of these in the back, and you can feel free to take one. On the back is a list of the other activities that we're going to have. So that's the first event. We're also going to have glass mugs that will be, so you can put your punch in your little glass mug, and it'll be a takeaway.
Giveaway.
A giveaway for you. So
And all the right now, the Colts Neck Business Association has the tickets live on our website. So you could go right to our website. It's easy to purchase your ticket. Each ticket is $125 per person. You could request to be seated with the people that you want to bring or that you want to come with. And it should be a really exciting party. I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's really nice that the Colts Neck Inn is hosting it for us. And
Yes.
thank you for putting that together.
Since Laird started out there too, so it's nice keeping in with the history of Colts Neck.
Yeah.
We also have reached out to the local media publications, and they're running ads at the beginning of February, so they'll be in that publication and it's hit social media.
Yep.
So
That's the first one.
that's the first
February
event.
22nd.
Yes. So then after that, our next one is the barn tour, and Connie's going to be running that for the CMBA. If you want to talk.
Yes, and the CMBA did a barn tour a while back, so we're excited to bring it back and just showcase all the beautiful facilities around and in Colts Neck, especially with Colts Neck having such a big presence in the horse industry. We're probably one of the biggest counties or biggest towns with that the biggest riders come and ride in these facilities. So it's really nice to be able to have these bigger barns here and showcase them to the residents, just because, in my opinion, the horse really helped this country. So I just want to give back to them a little bit. And we're going to get buses. It's going to be between 10 and 2 p.m. on May 6th. So it'll be during the day, a weekday. And then we're also going to probably have a one place to meet up. Everyone will get on the buses and we'll just do a tour throughout. Each barn will have a little like pass hors d'oeuvre, and they'll give you a short tour of their facility, and we'll go from there. So it's between 10 and 2 on May 6th, and the ticket price should be around $50, depending on bus situation, and we're still working on that.
And we thank Phyllis Cameron for stepping up. to help
Yes.
us with
Oh, I
that.
didn't see Phyllis. Yes, thank you,
Second.
Phyllis.
Then the next event is Memorial Day Parade, which we have on Memorial Day, and we're just going to add to that. I'm really excited that we have the Mott's Artillery, and it's a colonial troop, and they're coming to Colts Neck, and they're going to bring their cannon on their little caisson, and they're going to shoot off. I don't know.
I said we were going to keep the horses to the back that time.
Yes. So we're excited about that. And they will march with the parade, and they will go down to Memorial Park, where they will do a military salute. Muskets. So that's just a little addition to the Memorial Day Parade. And then, of course, we have our fireworks, July 3rd, a CMBA-sponsored event. In the meantime, Phyllis, do you want to talk about the calendar?
Sure. So the school is going to get involved from preschool up through 12th grade, is going to make design a month for a calendar. It's going to be patriotic, obviously, historical, anything the students create. And then we are going to, as a committee, put all like the first grade ones, look at them, and then pick our winners. And we're picking the winners at announcing the winners. At the fireworks, and hopefully they'll get little prizes. And we're just encouraging the community to get involved. We're very excited. So that's one of the projects that will bridge, the gap between the school and the community.
And then the calendar will be published in 2027.
Right. The calendar will be published in 2027, and we're hoping the PTO will be selling it. And we're just working on that second step. Thank you.
We're also selling a hat. I think I brought it to one of the meetings, 1776. It's a baseball cap, so we're going to be selling that throughout the year. It's really very cool looking. One thing I really want to talk to the Township Committee about is September 11th, 9/11. That's the 25th anniversary. And as we all know, the first plane hit the tower at 8:30 something in the morning. And we usually but we usually honor or have a ceremony at 6 o'clock. I'm asking if this year, since the 25th, if we could switch to the morning I would like to have Earl come with their bell, and they would ring the bell at the first hit. We would announce, or recognize the people that passed in Colts Neck. And then when the second bell, the second hit, and have the ceremony that way. So I hope you will consider that in September. But that's just one little thing I was thinking about. And then for the tree lighting, we're doing something a little different. Do you want to talk about that?
So the tree lighting, it's always a big event in town, and we get lots and lots of people. So I know we're definitely going to have the carolers, and we'll have it inside the building. But the main thing that we're super excited about is that we're going to have horse-drawn carriage rides, and we'll start it by the tree, and then we're working it out if we're gonna.
Well, the police department. And
Yeah, they're gonna help.
DPW
Yeah, they're gonna help us
with the route.
with the route. But we're really, really excited about that, and I think the town will love it, and all the kids will love it. And it'll be a great addition to
So we want
Santa.
to open up the annex, the old town hall. We'll
Yes.
decorate it. We'll have the carolers in there. The Women's Club has volunteered to do refreshments and help decorate that too, so they'll be there. So, sometimes it gets really cold, and this way you have an opportunity to come in, Christmas carols, get warm. So it'll be nice, and then you can go do your ride around the park. And there's a couple other things, but I'm just going to leave it for there.
And Sue made the flyers.
Yes.
So we're gonna have these throughout town, but we're gonna leave some here too. So if you could just spread the word about it, because I think I would get your ticket sooner than later. We're already starting to see a lot of sales on it. But it's gonna be a great way to kick off America's 250th anniversary.
It is a finite number of 180, so
Yep.
that's how many people we can hold. So,
But we'll leave the flyers, and thank you.
any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you to our volunteers, and thank you to the CMBA for sponsoring these events. It's a joint effort, and you're doing a magnificent job. We look forward to celebrating this year with you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 10, consent agenda. All items listed on the consent agenda are considered routine by the township and are adopted or approved collectively by a single motion and roll call vote of a majority of the township committee. If discussion is desired by any item, it is considered separately. Resolution 2026-31 through 2026-40. May I have a motion?
Moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Questions, Mr. Mayor?
If there's any individual questions, Mr. Tabia, or Committeeman Tabia, on any individual items, we have to vote on that separately. So
I just have questions for clarification on the items. It can be consent. I just would like clarification on some of the items.
we typically would have to vote on that separately,
If-
but why don't you pose the questions and we'll
Okay.
figure it out.
Just regarding 2633, which is the authorization of a Toro Sand Pro, I would like to commend Lou Bader and Public Works for being proactive in getting this piece of equipment. The Sports Foundation has been looking for the fields to be maintained at a higher level for a number of years. I just recently had a meeting with them, and this was one of their top priorities. So again, I commend Mr. Bader on that and being proactive and stepping up that park maintenance program. The other question I had is for 2026-34 for the two police Tahoes. I assume that they are replacements,
They are fleet replacements approved last year in last year's budget.
and there'll be two units coming off the rolls and into auction.
No, we will likely repurpose those for other use in town.
Okay, so in that particular case, I would like, I know the administrator gave me a list of vehicles. I would like to see how they're going to be repurposed and what vehicles will come off the road so that we don't increase the fleet.
Will be considered.
Thank you, that was it.
Based on those questions, we don't need to do it individually.
Roll call.
I'm sorry, who was, the first was
It was
Committeewoman Bus?
Committeewoman Bus.
And second was Mr.
Deputy Mayor.
Deputy Mayor Bezzetta. Thank you, sorry. Deputy Mayor Bezzetta.
Yes.
Committeeman Rizzuto.
Yes.
Committeewoman Bus.
Yes.
Committeeman Tabia.
Yes.
And Mayor Viola.
Yes. Approval of vouchers, Finance Chair, Deputy Mayor Pizzetta.
So this is my inaugural run through the bills list. For the last year, I was sitting up here, and every time the mayor went through the lists, he would tell us how much time he spent doing it. And I thought he was just
Blowing smoke.
blowing smoke to tell us how much you work. But now that I've done it, I can tell you he was not blowing smoke. It's a big lift, especially this month, because it's a month worth of bills that I went through. So what I'd like to do is I'm just going to summarize a couple of items on the bills list so you can see where our tax money goes. Road construction, we paid bills for $573,683.33. That's the repavement, that's the maintenance of our roads in town. Fire department expenses. Now, I recuse myself from approving those bills because I'm on the fire department, but I still saw them in the list yesterday. And expenses for the fire department, $17,440.18. Phone, intranet, technology, everything that allows all of our employees to communicate with each other, the police department to communicate, the fire department, first aid, DPW, all of that infrastructure, $19,328.60. Gas and electric to heat and light all of the buildings that our employees work in and we own, $16,998.27. Affordable housing legal fees, right, to our lawyers, to our consultants, $36,678.64. Recycling, $69,018.76.
It's 2 months, right?
2 months, $33,939 a month. Leaf collection. This one astounded me. We paid 2 payments. This month it was $149,940. We pay that twice a year. Leaf collection. Snow management, ice management for one storm. The December 27, 2025 storm, $19,250. Medical and dental insurance for our employees, $108,028. And repairs to Laird Field, fencing around the Laird Field, $3,400. All of that totals approximately, if my math is right, $1,013,766 out of a total bills list of $1,136,245.12. So I didn't do the math, but that's a high percentage. So that's where our money goes to, and it's all of our monies, right? It's our tax dollars. It takes a lot of money to operate Colts Neck Township. So with that, Mr. Mayor, I move the amount of $1,136,245.12 for payment.
Second.
Roll call.
Questions? On the bill for Chisla, Shannon, and Giantowski, our affordable housing legal fees, I thank you, Madam Administrator, for setting me the backup for that. I do have some questions on that there's numerous line items in there where the firm is, indicated they spoke to Mr. Viola, and then there's other areas where they just reference client. I think it should be very consistent as far as if they're talking to individuals, contacting members of the Township Committee or the administrator, to be consistent as far as who that is and who they're talking to on that particular bill. And on resource management on the septic system operation, the $2,199.54. Is that a monthly expense?
It's not exactly a monthly
there is a
expense.
monthly
That is a
service.
monthly
Okay,
expense
thank you.
for our licensed operator to review our system to ensure that we're in compliance with our NJPSI's permit.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We have a roll call.
Sure. Deputy Mayor Brazetta.
Yes.
Committeeman Rizzuto,
Yes.
Committeewoman,
Exception of the fire department.
usual
Excuse me, with
exceptions?
the
Yes, sir.
exception of the fire
Thank you.
department.
Committeewoman Bus?
Yes, with the exception of any bills related to the municipal court.
Thank you. Committeeman Tabia?
I vote yes on all the bills except the affordable housing attorney legal fees. I vote no.
And Mayor Viola?
Yes, with the usual exceptions.
Mr. Mayor, may I
Yes.
say something? Mr. Committeeman Tabia, when we were here at the reorg, I noticed that you objected to the appointment of our legal counsel for affordable housing. I'd like to ask you to please recommend different counsel that you think would be a better choice. I'd be happy as liaison for affordable housing to meet with the attorney, to listen to their, what we lawyers call their pitch, right? What would they do differently? What strategies would they employ that our current attorneys are not employing? Maybe they have some. I know that when I pitch for work for potential clients, I do my homework and I come in, and if there's a different strategy, I present that to a prospective client. If they have a different strategy that is a better strategy, that is better for Colts Neck, that is less expensive for Colts Neck, I think we would all be happy to consider that. So please,
Mr. Bezzetta, as I
hold on,
demonstrated,
please present that to us, and I'd be happy to review it.
as I demonstrated an executive, I gave you an alternative, an executive for Ms. Buss to contact. I will definitely give forth some other contacts that I think that we would be worthwhile to this township to research in.
Thank you, and we'll meet with them, and we'll report back. And if it's cheaper and a better strategy, we'll change lawyers. But
Because
we'll
I
report
also
back.
want to recommend, when we look at this, it is to have options so that when we go, whether we go to the court or that we're evaluating the different affordable housing sites, locations, changing zoning or anything, that we have a team together that would do the best for the township and not rely on just one firm.
Yeah, apropos of that, it takes the team is those of us here and our professionals, our planner, engineer, the liaison positions. Committeewoman Buss and I are the liaisons for affordable housing. My understanding is that we offered you the opportunity to be liaison for affordable housing. There was some confusion, I think, at first. You had said that there was a conflict. Do you want to state why you're not?
Yeah,
you
sure.
chose-
I think the attorney will have an
There
opinion
is-
first.
There is no conflict.
Right.
Okay, so then I'm going to clarify, Mr. Bezzetta, as you can go back now, going approximately almost a year ago, there was a hearing before the planning board that I did not recommend that it be before the planning board for affordable housing. I voted no on that particular, because I did not think the plan was right for Colts Neck. Then when on the fourth round housing plan, I also voted no at the planning board, because at that time you're relying on durational adjustment and buying some affordability. I do not think that there's enough options in there to satisfy the court. I voted no, and I did not believe to put the township nor myself in a position to have to go as a liaison to the Affordable Housing Subcommittee before a judge and a court master to defend something that I don't believe in. And then I would have had to say that I do not believe in that. I do believe that there's other alternatives for us to comply with affordable housing, that I would have been in conflict with the rest of the committee as far as at a court master and the court. And I do not feel that I should put myself nor this township in that type of position. That's why I was not going to serve on the Affordable Housing Subcommittee, because I was not privy to all the information that we originally asked for on the planning board, not get all the information. We had to constantly ask our professional for information to even get to the number of units, and that goes back a number of years. Also, number two, for the affordable housing to go forward, there had to be options, and we are right now in the situation that we did not want to be in because of the durational adjustment. You have a developer that now can come in with the price of the unit that is going to provide sewers and/or a package plant to this township to build those units. So that's why I'm not. I offered, as I formed a subcommittee on the planning board to further address that. There was not impacts to the school board, not impacts to the police department discussed. I think all of that needs to be taken into account with affordable housing and look at it as an entire whole, along with a cost analysis on what's that going to cost us versus the services that need to be provided, schools versus purchasing properties and open space, and what is the least cost option. So for all those reasons, that's why I'm not serving directly on the affordable housing, but I can assure you that I will be participating in discussions on affordable housing and giving you my opinion, my recommendation, what I believe is best for Colts Neck.
So for
Thank
political
you. Thank you.
purposes, you're going to sit on the sideline and continue to throw snowballs. That's why you're recusing yourself.
Mr. Rizzuto,
Yes, sir.
that is totally not true.
Let's-
because
let's-
as I- No, he directly
He
answered.
did, but I
Answer.
asked that we keep it professional
I'm
and
going to keep
respectful.
it fresh. He's the one talking about snowballs. As I demonstrated in executive, I gave you an alternative that would give you additional credits, which I'm going to continue to do.
Okay.
But I am not going to put this township, nor myself, nor this township committee
Mhm.
in a position where I'm going against what you voted on in front of a judge.
No,
But that's,
so
but
let me
that,
just,
I'm going to add something here. This is where your timelines are a little bit off. The mediation and the settlements were completed before. We did not settle, we did not mediate, we did not agree to anything with any of the three projects that have been proposed in town. That was closed on December 31st. You were sworn in on January 2nd. We are starting new in round 4 with the recommendation is yet to be made by the retired judge, by the program judge, in accordance with the legislation, to the Superior Court. That is imminent, any day. At that point, we will then move forward into round 4 with the legal strategy, as well as updating our housing element fair share plan regarding the credits we already attained and those that we have in the queue. So you're saying because you decided beforehand that you weren't involved in anything up to 12/31, there is no more mediator involved. It now moves to the court. So we closed the legislation closed one part, and now moves into the second. You were not installed. It ended on 12/31. You were installed on the 2nd of January. You are certainly capable of providing, never again, you are certainly capable. You know, this video is available online. You know that, right? You are certainly capable of contributing and taking a leadership position, knowing that you ran, your campaign was on never again, and you've not taken a leadership position as a liaison. You are not conflicted. The information that you had in the past is closed on 12/31. We now move into the next segment of the plan.
And you are not 100% correct, Mr. Viola, because whatever the court orders, this township may be in a position that they appeal it. They may be in litigation with the developers that have come forth already. So yes, it would be a conflict because I was not in favor of the round 4 plan, and I'm not in favor of it now.
Just to be clear, there's no conflict. I don't.
I'm-
That's just a legal term.
And,
Yeah.
and
So
can I
just
just,
to clarify-
can I jump in here, in the interest of time here? And we're not really here for, politicking. And I would just say that this goes for everybody here. I think I can say, I speak for everyone in that we welcome your background, your experience, your opinions. I think maybe some of us have a different opinion on what it means to be a liaison. I think that your point of kind of feeling as if the liaisonship would have you defending our votes. To me, a liaison just meant that you're the one kind of taking the lead on it and reporting back to all of us. But with that being said, I feel better knowing that this is not a conflict issue. This is a opinion on what you think. You know what? We all have opinions. You guys all have opinions. And I think the fact that we all have different ones, I can tell you there is no way we all agree on everything up here. We don't agree about things that were done in the past, present, future, but we all bring different things to the table. And I appreciate what you bring to the table. And I think that we should just move forward. And if you're willing to kind of share your background and information with us, and we will do the same, I think we can move forward in a way that does any kind of what I would call damage control for maybe decisions that you specifically didn't agree with, or maybe I didn't agree with, someone in the audience didn't agree with, and we can move forward from there. So I just want to say thank you for what you're going to bring to the table and sharing as well with us. So
Thank you.
that's all I
Just
wanted
long
to
as we're
say.
talking about liaisons, it's interesting that you're so concerned about what liaisons I'm on, but you also eliminated the Public Works liaison, which I have 40 years of experience in public works and public infrastructure. Very interesting on what we take a priority at.
But John, again, you have that background, just like I have a background in affordable housing. I share my opinion on that as well. I would welcome you to share that with Kathleen and all of us with your background and experience.
Well, I think you know I will.
Just a point, again, just to put a point on it, I think you also declined being liaison to the Board of Education. So that's 2 liaison positions you declined.
And I'll defer to
have.
town council on that.
Yeah, I'm just stating
No,
it
no,
so
no.
that everyone knows.
You bring it up, I'll defer to town council.
And I'm just letting the public know,
So
transparency.
town council will to speak. There is no conflict with either. And he does not have to defend why he doesn't want to be on the liaison position. He does not need to be on the liaison.
But I
That's
think-
it.
I'd like the public, I think, ought to know that he was offered those 2 liaison positions and didn't accept it. Just to clarify about the liaison, I'm a liaison to affordable housing. We don't, Committeewoman Buss and I, we don't present to the court. We don't argue the positions to the court. It's a communication position. We interface with our professionals. We gather information. We then come back to the committee. We report, often in executive session like we did today. If there's a position that we need a vote on, we come into public session and we take a vote on that position to direct our professionals on a policy choice that we make. So whether you agree or disagree, you're not putting yourself out there by being liaison such that you're then in conflict with the committee. We discuss it. We discuss it with the public. We take a vote. If it's unanimous, fine. If it's less than unanimous, it is what it is. None of that means that you can't be liaison. So in my view, being a liaison is an honor. It's a privilege. And frankly, it demonstrates leadership. And when you choose not to be a liaison, in my view, you're choosing not to be a leader on really difficult, tough decisions. And affordable housing is as hard as it gets in this town. It's complicated, and there are a lot of close calls. It's not black and white. It is gray. So anyway,
Well, I
thank
can
you.
assure you, my opinions will be brought, I will be bringing you recommendations, and offline, we'll talk about the Board of Ed.
Why? Transparency.
You'll see when I discuss it to you privately, and I think the council knows.
You
I
may-
absolutely do, and I don't think we should go for it.
That's fine. I'm just saying the public has a right to know, in my view. That's fine.
Okay, let's move on. Administrators report.
Yes, 2 items this evening, similar in nature. We have 2 organizations that are interested in the governing body's approval to serve and consume alcohol in Bucks Mill Park. The first is Echo Rescue, who is holding a charity event January 24th of this year. The information was in your packet. If you have any questions, I'm happy to address them. The second is the Colts Neck Lions Club. This is their annual Kentucky Derby event scheduled for May 2nd, 2026. Obviously, should there be no objections, they would work with our Director of Recreation to ensure that all aspects of these special events permits are adhered to.
Insurance riders, et cetera.
Exactly.
I have no objection.
I do not have an objection.
No objection.
Very good. Thank you. That's all I have this evening.
Committee reports. We're going to start with Committeeman Tabia, and I ask him to talk about the potential for a farmland and open space referendum. For the public's edification, we were considering a referendum last year to increase the open space tax to help us preserve more property, because we do preserve property. We declined because the county had a question, a referendum on there. We did not want to compete with the county. So I asked Committeeman Tabia to begin his liaison reports. I believe you had farmland and open space earlier in the week. I'm not sure if it came up, but if it did, what is the consideration?
So thank you, Michael. Just a couple things on numerous committees that I was on that I'll be giving reports on and some other comments. But regarding the Farmland and Open Space Committee, One of the items that was discussed is that the committee would like letters sent out to all farmland owners about the possibility of going into the farmland preservation program. Two, that was discussed, and there'll be further recommendations coming back to the governing body on a way to format that correctly so that it can stay on the ballot and be valid, unlike in the past. And also that we are want to look at other opportunities to meet with county, state, SADC for additional funding for properties, and also to have a subcommittee go and visit the farm owners. Regarding the Sports Foundation meeting, I had the pleasure of meeting with them and going over some of the things. One, again, I commend Mr. Bader for being proactive on the maintenance of the parks and the ball fields. We also discussed developing a maintenance plan for each park so that there's a strict follow as far as what is required and the costs associated with that. And we've also discussed developing a 10-year plan for all the athletic fields and the requirements moving forward so the township can plan for capital expenses accordingly. The other item I would like to discuss is I would like for consideration to put on for the next agenda a resolution opposing Senate Bill 5028 and Assembly Bill 6301, which is to reduce the number of thoroughbred horse racing dates at Monmouth Park from 50 to 25 days. That will have a tremendous negative effect on Colts Neck and the surrounding areas as far as the equine industry and the associated businesses, veterinarians, and other businesses that rely on that associated income. Not only that, it will also have a further loss of farms and equine facilities in the state of New Jersey, specifically Colts Neck and surrounding areas, which will negatively impact the environment, open space, and quality of life by accelerating development of farms. So I'd like consideration. I can give the administrator a sample resolution for consideration at the next meeting.
Please do so.
Thank you. And I'm sorry, John, just to clarify, you said 5028 and 6301, right?
S5028 is the Senate version, and A6301 is the Assembly version.
Committee to be who's sponsoring the Senate bill?
I can get you that information.
Thank you.
Thank you. Committeewoman Buss.
As we kick off the new year, I just wanted to make an announcement. I really haven't had any meetings yet, but the book fair for Friends of the Library is sponsoring a book fair on May 2nd and May 3rd. So just a reminder, as I usually bring flyers as it gets a little closer, and when they'll have book donations and stuff. So just wanted to kind of give that update as well, and looking forward to getting started with committees for the year.
Thank you. Committeeman Rizzuto.
I'm really short this month because of the way the meetings fall, but you've gotten the updates from the police department from the chief, so I don't have to go there. He's given you a pretty comprehensive. And again, congratulations to the recertification. That was fantastic. It is a big deal. It's the chief certification. Chief Santucci started it, and Chief DeVito is really, carrying that ball forward. He's doing a great job. It is not easy at all to get that kind of a certification. So, everything's looking sharp. So, also historic preservation, my other big committee is, they gave you their briefing, which is essentially most of what we do throughout the year in conjunction with the county and the state in a larger effort. And thank you, CNBA and Connie and Sue and everybody and Anita and everyone else who's involved in the town in that, because that's going to be fun, because we're going to take the existing programs, add some new ones, and then make them bigger and better. Make historic preservation great again. So good job. And that's all I have. Really nothing on the OEM or first aid other than, progress. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Committeeman.
And
Deputy Mayor.
I'm sorry, can I just jump in there?
Committeewoman.
I apologize. I thought you were going to mention, we had the great opportunity to attend the first aid installation dinner last week, and I see several of our first aiders here. Just want to, again, thank you for your service. I don't think when I first attended about 6 years ago was the first one I attended, I really had any understanding of how many first aid calls we get in this town. I now know fire calls as well, but wow, these are the people getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning because something happened, an emergency. I've unfortunately had to be one of those people that called and had people at my house in the middle of the night. So I am grateful. It was really, truly an honor to celebrate the achievements of the first aid squad on Saturday. So that's all. Sorry.
Deputy Mayor. Thank you, Committeewoman.
I don't have any report of committees. None of the none of the meetings occurred this week. I do have obviously an update on affordable housing, and
We'll cover that in the discussion item.
Thank you.
Thank you. My updates, the township has been awarded a direct grant from the Department of Community Affairs for $200,000 for recreation improvements. We will put that towards 5 Point bathrooms. It is not a matching grant. It is a direct grant of $200,000. So thank you, former Mayor Buss, for going through that process with DCA. That's good news for the township. CMBA has its first meeting of the month on the 27th, 5:30 at Huddy's. It's $50 to join. Remember, most of our CMBA members are not only residents and business owners, so shop local and support CMBA. Seniors had 92 members at their first meeting last week, which is a lot. Usually we get that kind of number when it's flu shot season, so it was nice to see such a turnout. $10 joining for 55 and older member residents and 5 years former residents of Colts Neck. Rec Committee will hold its first meeting of the year on Tuesday, January 20th, as Monday is MLK Day. Federal government, you may have seen the letter that Congressman Smith wrote to Secretary of War Hegseth about grave concerns over the encroachment potential of these developers on the base. More information will be forthcoming when we receive it. It'll be immediately posted. And last general information, please consider subscribing to notifications. We've had some residents ask, why can't I get the information? We put the information out there, but you've got to do a little bit of work on your own. So if you sign up go to the website, coltsneck.org, subscribe to notifications. Just put your phone number, your cell number in there, and subscribe to news and notices. So when we post something on the website and news and notices, within a matter of minutes, you'll get a text on your phone or an email with the update. You'll have all the information. So please consider subscribing to notifications. And township offices will be closed Monday in observance of MLK Day. And happy birthday wishes to our administrator, Kathleen Capristo. Item number 11, discussion item, affordable housing. I will hand it to Deputy Mayor Bezzetta and Committeewoman Buss.
I'll kick it off. As I do, I think at every meeting, this is an update of what's been happening on the affordable housing front. Just a level set, as we know, the town's outstanding obligation as of a few months ago from round 3, our obligation was 138 units. From round 4, it's 101 for a total of 239 units. Keep that number in mind because I'm going to circle back to it to explain how we managed to decrease that number. With respect to round 4 of affordable housing, which spans the next 10 years, there's a mediation program. I've reported on this in past months. We were involved in the mediation because 2 developers objected to our round 4 plan. And they are proposing massive developments, the only way to describe it, on 3 pieces of property. And we've discussed this, right? Wellsprings Farm, Aubrey Road, and the Dutch Road, Boundary Road Farm. The proposals are, anywhere from 200 units on Aubrey Road, 250 on Wellspring, although that number has gone up and down. On Dutch Lane, anywhere from 300, 350. We objected to all of that. So this isn't breaking news, but we didn't reach a settlement in the mediation. We did not negotiate and we did not settle. We expected to receive a decision from the retired judge and the mediator by December 31. We haven't received it. My understanding is that a number of towns that participated in the mediation program did not receive decisions. There's probably a backlog. When we do receive that decision, we will post it on the intranet, on our township site. So you'll know it in real time when we know it. We defended development on those 3 properties three arguments, basically. One, a durational adjustment. We obtained a durational adjustment for round 3, and that was only less than a year ago. So why wouldn't we get a durational adjustment for round 4? That's number one defense. Number two, the Wellsprings Farm and the Obrey Road properties are within 3,000 feet of Naval Weapons Station Earl. That's the military influence zone where the Navy has said high-density housing is not compatible. The mayor referenced the letter that Congressman Smith wrote on our behalf. I thank the mayor for his work in getting this letter sent to the Secretary of War, and it was part of the record in the mediation. So the judge is aware that Congressman Smith and the Navy both oppose high-density housing on those pieces of property. And then thirdly, for the Dutch Lane property, we opposed it because there was a deed restriction on that property that prevents further subdivision. And if deed restrictions have any meaning, they have to be enforced. If you could override that deed restriction, every other deed restriction would fall. And there are so many of them in town that prevent development on properties because they're preserved for any number of reasons. So we have to stand strong, and we are going to stand strong to prevent the Dutch Road property from being appealed. Again, as soon as a decision comes out, we'll post it. You'll know it in real time, and then we'll address it back here at a meeting. Item number 2, again, an update. You've heard me talk about Mayor Gasali, the mayor of Montvale, New Jersey. He has really spearheaded a coalition of 29 towns that have litigated against affordable housing. They filed a state lawsuit. Unfortunately, that was dismissed. As far as I can tell, it has not yet been appealed, although the mayor says there will be an appeal. They also commenced a federal court action. There was a hearing in federal court on January 7th. This is to object to the mechanisms that are involved in the mediation that I talked about. There's a deadline as part of that mediation that towns that are ordered to build affordable housing have to rezone their properties by March 15th. The lawsuit that Mayor Gasali brought in federal court seeks to prevent that March 15 date from going into effect. There was a hearing last Wednesday, no decision yet. I checked before we came out today. Hopefully they are successful, because if they're successful, we're successful. So again, I'll keep you updated on that. And then thirdly, I want to update you on the Grand. We've talked at other meetings about the plans we've had to extend affordability controls at the Grand. I'm happy to report that by the December 17 deadline, we had 34 owners of restricted properties at the Grand, except the township's tax-free payment of $40,000 per unit. So that's 34 homeowners. One homeowner opted to sell their property, and we exercised our right of first refusal to acquire that property, and we will then resell it. And we had talked previously about 14 of the rental units that we had extended affordability controls on for 21 credits. Now, just a word about the 34 homeowners that signed on to the deed restriction. We are in the process of sending them those deed restrictions. As soon as we do, they will get payment, and then we will file those deed restrictions. So in the next 30 to 60 days, that process will be completed. When you add those numbers up, you tally up, we have reduced our outstanding obligation of 239 by 56 numbers, 56 units. So our current obligation is 183. We reduced it from 239 to 183 without a shovel in the ground. Just to give context, we know that these builders, right, when they come in, they build 5 to 1. By eliminating those 56 units, we eliminated potentially 280 units being built in town, an additional 280 units. We eliminated that by extending affordability controls. Now, it comes at a price. This wasn't cheap, right? $40,000 paid out to the 34 homeowners. That's $1,360,000 that we're paying out. We've bonded that over long term. But when you consider the alternative, those 280 units potentially that aren't being built, if each of those units just had one child in our schools, Ms. Cameron will tell you this, at a very conservative $30,000 to educate one child, I think it's more, but I'm using a round number of $30,000 per student, that's a cost of $8.4 million just for the education. That's not talking about extra police and all the other resources that come when you have additional development. So on the whole, spending $1.3 million, while a lot of money, it's better than spending upwards of $8 or $9 million to educate our kids. So all of that I've just said, and I apologize for the length of this update, that's our defensive strategy, right? What are we doing defensively? A lot of you have asked, what are we doing offensively? What are we doing offensively to satisfy this obligation of 183? Which, folks, it ain't going away. I wish I could tell you I could wave a magic wand. We could wave a magic wand and our obligation's going away. We can reduce it, but it's not going away. The results of the election in November were what they were. Affordable housing is here to stay. So what are we going to do to satisfy that outstanding obligation? One, senior housing or group home. We've identified properties in town. Committeeman Tabia mentioned that in executive. We talked about a suggestion that he made. We're going to pursue the strategy of bringing a group home or a senior home to Colts Neck that might give us 10 or 15 credits against that 183, reducing it to 170. And then the second strategy, something we've been working on, Committeewoman Buss and I, the mayor and I, we've been working on this for at least as long as I've been on this committee, a year. How do we bring 100% affordable housing to Colts Neck so that we eliminate the 5-to-1 building ratio, which just lines developers' pockets with money? It's not that easy. It's all about funding, right? When you build 100% affordable housing, who's going to build it and how are you going to fund it? It costs tens of millions of dollars to do it. We don't have the funds, frankly. $18-19 million budget that we have, we would have to borrow an exorbitant amount of money. There are tax credits out there. There are funds out there that the state and other organizations have that nonprofit builders tap into and then build 100% affordable housing. We're working through all of that. There are a lot of factors that go into it that determine which tax credit you can get. And it's based on location of the properties and a whole host of factors. And then you score them. We're working on all of that. That is the priority. That is the emphasis. That's the focus of what we're doing. How can we satisfy our obligation with 100% affordable housing? That's what I'm going to be devoting the balance of this year to, along with Committeewoman Buss and all of us up here. How can we satisfy that number? Because we can reduce it, that I don't see a way that we could eliminate it. Even if this lawsuit that Mayor Gasali has brought, even if he's successful, that won't do away with the obligation. So we need to manage it. We need to manage it smartly, and there are really some smart people up here that are going to help us do that. So as we know more, I'll report more, ask questions. We'll give you as much information as we can. That was a long speech.
Yeah, I think you hit it,
Sorry.
what we wanted to get out there. So it's important information.
All set?
Yep.
Okay, comments from the public. Procedure for public comment. Colts Neck Township Committee welcomes comments from the members of the public. Please raise your hand if interested in being heard. Once recognized by the mayor, identify yourself by clearly stating your name and address for the record. Your comments will be limited to 4 minutes. Once you have finished speaking or your 4 minutes have expired, the Township Committee will respond accordingly. May I have a motion to open public comment?
Moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, public, you're up. It's your 4 minutes. This is Mann.
I'm gonna turn that around.
Elaine Mann, 587 Route 34 in Colts Neck. My first question is, how much monies have you recouped from the repairs of this building, from the builders, et cetera? Months ago, you stated that this process was in the works. Number two, why are we now paying Firehouse number 1, Firehouse number 2, and St. Mary's $800 for election? We never did this before, so could you explain that? And why does Firehouse number 1 get $800 and Firehouse number 2 only get $400? Please explain what the Public Health Consortium Adult Health Care Services for $7,678 entail. DPW, how many employees do we have now? And why do we pay a cleaning service to clean their buildings? Years ago, the DPW cleaned all of our buildings. And I would just like an explanation on this. Why do we hire outside services? This could be a way to reduce some of our costs. And why was the position of liaison to the DPW eliminated? And thank you, Mr. Committeeman Tobias, for your questions that you had tonight. They were very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to defer to the administrator on the Hall question.
Well, at this point, it's pending litigation at this point. So
that
we
process
have
will
not
continue.
recouped the money at this point because it is pending litigation.
What about, do you know about the New Jersey Shore Regional Public Health Consortium? I understand that is contributions to a public health insurance.
I'm not sure. I'd have to look into it.
I spoke to John and tonight when I reviewed the bills, and he explained
That it is payment into a public health consortium fund that we're obligated to pay, as all municipalities are. That's the $6,000 fund, I think, that you put in there.
You know, regarding having DPW clean the buildings rather than a paid service, we will continue to use what I call a buy-build strategy. Do we do it ourselves or do we pay for the service? Which is most cost-effective and best utilization of our resources, both financial and human capital? I'd much rather have our DPW taking care of the roads and parks and trees and things that they need to do rather than vacuuming the carpet. So it's more cost-effective to have a service clean the buildings. Anybody else from the public? Mr. O'Brien.
Oh, can I just also chime in? There was a little change to the polling locations this year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and
why
that's a
there's
pass-through.
something there
The
in
county
addition.
actually pays that through us, and it goes to the polling locations.
Remember Tobias' email address when
Name
clicked
and
on?
address, please, sir.
Kevin O'Brien, 18 enclosure. When
Thank you.
Mr. Tobias' email is clicked on, it's posted as Mr. Rizzuto's. If I copy and paste it, it comes up as Mr. Rizzuto's. It's been 2 weeks. It shouldn't be that much of an IT challenge. It's a one-day process. The November 12th, 2025 meeting minutes, page 10, Member Rizzuto noted there was a common sentiment that either the governing body missed something or that they're on the take. I can't remember a member of this public stating on the record a member of this committee is on the take. Please stop your embellishments, which include your comments about the thousands of people at home that are watching these videos and the June affordable housing meeting being to a packed room. I was there. You embellish as easily as I breathe. The same minutes, Mr. Bezzetta stated that he wanted to be as transparent as possible. As Parks liaison, why didn't you explain the price difference between the recent $742,500 grant request and the average bathroom bid price of $1.5 million? Colby Marquez said the price difference related to a second structure for 5 points. The specifications called for only one structure. Ms. Bennett with the 1.5 million was on the spreadsheet, was readily available via Oprah. Was it legal to extend a grant request with the knowledge that the average bid price from 4 bidders was $757,000 higher? To ensure clean hands, should this matter be extended to the State Department of Investigations or the prosecutor's office? Member Bezzetta shared we're in a big fight with affordable housing. Legally, it will be expensive. What is the estimated total legal expense for resolution? At the October 14th Planning Board meeting, Member Viola said the 30-year cost for the grand conversion would be $120,000, and the pilot cost would be $12,000 a year. When Member Tabaya asked for the total cost, Member Viola softly said $600,000. Mayor Buss commented this is not appropriate at this time. I'm really confused on the math, and it looks like you are too, Mr. Bezzetta.
I'm confused about your question.
My notes show $12,000 for the pilot for 30 years is $360,000, plus the 120 that Mr. Viola said is $480,000. The 88 grand units at $40,000 conversion is $3.52 million, not $600,000. So I'm lost on the numbers that we got from Mr. Viola in that planning board meeting. On the October 29th minutes, page 2, Member Bezzetta offered $40,000 for each owner-occupied unit to expend affordable housing is less than the cost of the requirement to build 300 plus affordable housing units. Our 2025 round 4 plan, page 16, shows the outstanding units is 138, and our fourth round is 101, as shown on page 23 of the same report. What requirement called for 300 additional units? I don't see it. I find it disingenuous for the committee to repeatedly exaggerate things or make unreasonable comparisons to an extreme situation to discredit a valid point from the public without having factual information to support the fallacies. Again, I asked you to talk about the facts and stop over-exaggerating and spreading fertilizer. Thank you.
Can I go first?
Oh, yeah, please.
He went first, so I get to go first.
Go for it.
So I'm fully aware that we don't speak to thousands of people watching from YouTube. That was sarcasm. And I hope to build the audience. I really hope to build the audience to thousands of people so we could really set a lot of this stuff straight. And so, yes, I do exaggerate. I know that there's only, I don't even know how many we've got tonight. 45. We're getting there. And when I referred to packed houses, I was referring to the many town halls we have, three of which I presided over. And I'm talking, when I say packed houses, I'm talking about when we packed the high school auditorium. And I don't know, we have the school board here. I don't know how many seats that holds, but it was standing room only. So yes, I was there. It might've been before you moved to town. But it was the one when I was mayor, we ran a town hall and many of them were packed. The last one wasn't. It wasn't. You're correct. So if we conflated my grandiose statements, and I do tend to speak with somewhat of sarcasm. I'll try to restrain that.
Mr. O'Brien, one of the challenges that I have is trying to take down notes of all the questions that you're asking. You have notes in front of you, and I'm sort of hamstrung. I'd like to meet with you one-on-one to answer your questions, or maybe if you feel comfortable sending them to me and I can provide answers, because some of the information that you spoke about doesn't make sense to me, and not because, let me rephrase that. I think the facts are incorrect as presented, and there's some miscommunication. There's been no bathrooms. We haven't gone out to build bathrooms at 5 points. You're conflating a grant with estimates. I'm not criticizing you. What I'm saying is it's hard for me to take notes to answer your questions. And I know that you ask the bathroom example, a point, for example, you raised it at reorg and you're raising it again tonight. I'd like to answer that question. So please send me the questions or meet with me. I would be happy to address those questions and answer them with the information that I have. Thank you.
Mr. O'Brien, some more information regarding the numbers at the Grand. There are 66 owner-occupied and 22 rental units. That's the total number of 88. We preserved 14 of the rentals. 8 are moving to market rate over time as the residents exit those properties. We get 21 credits for those. We get 14 plus 50% bonus for the rentals, so we get 21 credits for the rentals. Of the 66 owner occupied, we had 34 accept the extension. Pardon me? We have, so it's not 66. We're not preserving 88. I wish we had all 88. Your numbers would be more accurate. But of the 34 units owner occupied, the cost is going to be 1.36 million. And the cost for the 14 rentals was 470 plus the cost of the pilot. So it's not the total 88. That's an inflated number. Secondly, legal costs for affordable housing last year are approximate. You can use the word approximate and stress that. The $450,000 for our legal defense was approximately that in 24 as well. And we've budgeted a similar number. We will budget a similar number this year. I hope that helps. Anyone else from the public? Mr. Banco.
Good evening, everyone. Paul Banco, 48 Rivers Edge Drive. My first meeting in person, usually joining this from the luxuries of my couch, but tonight I'm here. First and foremost, wow, you guys have your work cut out for you. Being on the Sports Foundation, I think for close to 14 years, it's nice that we're finally getting bathrooms at 5 Points, I heard. So that's big kudos. Thank you. Awesome. More of a comment, maybe one question. I was in court all day yesterday, and I heard a very interesting term from the judge to my adversary. And he said, "We walk the road before us." And as I sit here and I listen to Mr. Tobia, whose entire campaign was on affordable housing, to turn down the very job, the liaison that this town and his supporters voted for him to come out and say I was conflicted, which you weren't, I find that extremely disingenuous. Extremely disingenuous. And I think you owe an apology to everyone that gave you the key to help this town with affordable housing. You turned it down. Now, I'm going to say in hindsight, I'm happy that you turned it down. You know why? I'd rather him in charge. I'd rather him in charge because he's not making excuses. You owe the entire town and everybody that voted for you an apology because it's extremely disingenuous. That's my comments, and that's all I have. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Michael?
You may respond.
Mr. Banco, thank you for coming tonight. Appreciate that. Talk about misinformation. There's a lot of misinformation out there, including from yourself, posted online on Facebook. No. I'm answering your question.
Right now, Committeeman Tamia can respond.
So I am not sidestepping my responsibilities with affordable housing, just the contrary. This was my first meeting and my first executive meeting before this meeting. By the way, I don't agree that executive meetings should be before the meeting, should be at the end so the public has their time. But putting that aside, my first meeting, I offered an alternative to something that was being discussed by this township committee, and I will continue to offer those discussions and moving forward and be a very proactive role and giving alternatives to this governing body. And that will continue. I can guarantee you, I will be fighting affordable housing and coming up with alternatives for this township as I campaigned on, as I spoke to families and friends, as I've spoke to everybody about. That I can guarantee you. I will also, as far as Mr. Bezzetta mentioned about the federal lawsuit, that judge said it was going to be February 1st that he was going to have a ruling. I've already researched that. But I can guarantee you I will be researching and have an intimate discussion with this township committee, our professionals, and I believe that we should have additional professionals. The reason I'm concerned about one of our attorneys is because that particular attorney has represented developers in the past that have built in this town. I think we need a cross-section of professionals so that we can get the best representation, the best alternatives, and come up with a true plan. We might not always agree, and that's fine. You and I may not agree on everything, but I can tell you one thing. I'm going to be 100% fighting for this township on affordable housing. I've been doing it for a long time. I have a lot of resources that I'm going to be bringing to this township committee. Whether they use it or not, that's totally up to them and their prerogative. But I can guarantee you, just as you saw today, I question things on this agenda. I will be questioning it and being open and transparent to the public. That's the one thing I campaigned on. That's the one thing I'm going to guarantee you. I will be open and transparent, and you can call me anytime if you want to have a conversation with me, but not putting misinformation on social media when you said I wasn't even going to be here.
Counselor, how much time
He
is
has
it?
2.5 minutes.
3 minutes?
2.5.
2 minutes.
Mine was more of a question that I heard that you weren't going to be here. And I'm sorry, Mr. Tobia, when you sit here and you talk about how you're going to be fighting for us in affordable housing, and you turn down the very job of acting as the liaison, everything else is mute. I can't believe what you say, because you were giving the opportunity to head up this committee on affordable housing, and you turned it down, and you came out with some cockamamie conflict excuse, which council said there was absolutely no conflict. So
Just
you
to
were,
be clear,
Yep.
now, I'm going to stop it. So,
Go ahead.
yes, Mr. Committeeman Tabia and I did discuss conflict, and that was not the term he meant. When we went
Okay.
through it, it's legally, I had a conversation with Mr. Tabia, and there is no conflict, but there is no requirement to take that position.
No, I understand, right. So there is no conflict. You could have taken the head of the liaison for Affordable Housing Committee, and you chose not to. So everything else after that, I just have a hard time believing. I hope you prove me wrong. I would love to be nothing more than wrong. I hope so. I 100% hope so that I am wrong. So you're in there, you turned it down. Let's see what happens. You want to add more council, it sounds like, or a new council? Are we increasing costs on that? Are we going to have 2 council now fighting affordable housing?
Mr. Banco, your time is up.
Oh, my time's up. Thank you.
Before you respond,
he's
Mr.
addressed me,
Tabia,
so I get a chance, but
you
go ahead.
will get a chance to respond. For the public, if you're going to speak, please take it outside. Thank you. Mr. Tabia.
Yes, Mr. Banco, thank you. When I talk about other council and alternative professionals, it's just what that means. Because I do not believe that in certain things that every particular, and I'm sure Mr. Bezzetta will agree with me on this, there's specialties in legal, there's specialties in engineering, there's specialties in planning. And by putting a team together, there may be better alternatives. Did I say we were going to commit to cost? Absolutely not. But we're going to have an open discussion about it. And you talk about liaisons, once again, this township committee can pick and choose where they want to have a liaisons. First time anybody can remember that a liaison to Public Works was eliminated and nobody is serving in that position as the administrator. But I can also rest assured to you, whether there's a liaison to Public Works or not, you will hear my opinions on Public Works. You will hear my questions on Public Works. And as you saw today, I commended Mr. Bader for being proactive on something that has been deficient for years as far as the maintenance of the ball fields. And that was discussed at the Sports Foundation, which that's why I've asked them to come up with a 10-year plan and a park maintenance plan, because that is also lacking in this township.
If
And
I
it
may,
has to do with liability and to protect the township about future liability on the maintenance of those ball fields. So again, there's a lot of aspects. Again, we don't always have to agree as township committee members. That is fine. We don't always have to agree as residents and neighbors. But I can tell you, I'm going to do what's best for Colts Neck. I'm going to put that foot forward, and you will see every single thing I propose here is what's best for Colts Neck. Whether or not it gets approved or not, that's just recently just brought up about the thoroughbred racing. That has a negative major effect on this township if those races are reduced. First meeting, something else is already brought up. But I would be looking at every single finance, every single thing. You can tell by the questions that were here today on just simple as 2 vehicles. Where are we increasing the fleet? Where are they going? The old ones going to auction. I will be questioning things that I feel that is appropriate continually up on this dais.
Thank you.
Any other members from the public? Mr. Orsino.
no, I'm good. No, we're good.
My name is, with my 4 minutes, Anthony Orsino, 15.
Mr. Orsino, please
Yeah, I'm sorry.
angle the mic.
I'm putting my timer. Okay. Let me know when I don't want to go past my time. Anthony Orsino, 15 Joshua Hardy Drive. So I just have a question, but I'm a little kind of, the fire that's going up here bothered me. I mean, we should, I know I cannot put water on it, but, you know, Mayor Buss, as you just, and I'll call you a mayor, you've been a great mayor. You brought up a good point here, where this is not a political forum. And we have enough politics out there. I do not appreciate myself as a resident for anyone behind me to come here and accuse anybody on this board because they are here voluntarily. They're trying to do their best. I really value everyone's opinion and everyone doing. I appreciate what you do. We need different voices. We need different opinion. It's healthy to see this. I lived in Homedale for 20 years, and I was attending township meetings. Never, well, almost never had seen any heated situation such as there is controversial. There is, please don't come here by anyone behind me as a resident. I personally, as a resident, am offended that we address anyone of this board the way someone just did it. If there is a situation that is not transparent, it should be brought up more of a private base. But, and again, that upsets me. The one question I have, and maybe I haven't followed up the website for Cold Snack, and I know this is all on video, but the meetings, minutes of the meeting going on here, especially Mr. Zeta, with all the numbers you brought up, I am personally so much, concerned about affordable housing. As a resident, that's my biggest concern. And the second one is traffic, as I voiced my opinion before. I have a hard time absorbing all this,
It's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, you went from the amount that we have to do to, are the minutes available online that we can access?
Yes, once the minutes are approved by the governing body, so the three sets of minutes that were approved this evening, they will be posted on the website. So if you go to the where the township meeting and minutes are, you'll see a link there for those minutes.
But the
And you
minutes
can
from this
also,
meeting are delayed because they've got to be
Correct.
processed and then reviewed and then adopted at the next
Yeah.
meeting, then posted. So you're about 15 to 18 days away from these meeting minutes.
Yeah, I love to sit down and read them in my own speed and my own brain.
just be mindful, they're not verbatim. So
They're
it
not
really
verbatim.
just
I
captures,
know.
if you want verbatim, you have to watch the
Yes,
video.
I know there's not a stenography here, and I understand that.
Sure.
But the numbers that Mr. Bezzera brought up, they could be posted, right? I just like to see for my own self, how this is proceeding and be updated myself as well. So I can probably come up with.
Those numbers, we don't actually have to wait for, the minutes. If
They're
Mr.
available
Bezzetta,
now.
yeah, if you want to just put that up on the website, you certainly can.
If you can. I mean, you brought up things that it's vital to what you're doing. And, I mean, when I come here next time, I really have no idea what, so if possible, if there's a boilerplate of your report on the meetings, it's what I like to see. Well, I thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Orsino. I'd be happy to do that, post it. And as I offered to Mr. O'Brien, if you have questions, if you want to sit and meet with me to go over the numbers, I'd be happy to meet with you, with anyone else, to discuss affordable housing or any other topic, but happy to do that at any time. Just contact me.
Thank you. I might take you up on that.
Yeah, please.
As you always do.
Yeah.
You invite us and.
Happy to
send
meet
us
with
an
you.
email. Thank you.
Happy to meet with you. Thank you.
Step right up. You're the next contestant.
I hope the price is right.
We'll get back to you on that.
Only four minutes, so I'll go first. You told me there is a traffic.
Name and
study?
address, please.
Daniel Krasankis, 126 Montrose Road, Cold Neck, New Jersey, 07722. You told me there was a traffic study on Montrose Road to reduce the speed limit. Do you know the status of it? And also, what about the enforcement of the speed limit currently on Montrose Road? The people are going down there 70, 80 miles an hour, and there's no cop, there's no radar, I mean, I've been asking for a radar for months. I mean, probably years. I've been there 28 years, so probably 28 years. There's nobody, there, enforcing the speed limit, even the 40 miles an hour. So that I would like an answer on. Then the other thing was, well, you told me what's going on with the Dutch Lane, and you said we need 183 units, and that's for what, the next 10 years?
That would make that would
So
make us
why
whole
are
for
we
that.
being sued right now and to put the units within, a year, 2 years, 3 years? And why was the ball dropped on the Dutch Lane property of 40 acres and it wasn't put into farmland preservation, even with a deed restriction on it, for 1.9 million when it was for sale? And now, somebody else bought it, put a house on it, and now it's, somebody else is going on it. And why can't we be proactive and get senior housing or veteran housing and get like a 10-acre plot or something and have, something like Surrey Downs or something like the Grand, but smaller scale for seniors, so it wouldn't affect the school system and whatnot. I mean, I don't understand why this is so hard, and we're like in the same predicament now with Levana, when we were with Levana, and you told me that, we learned by Levana, we're going to be proactive and, do something. And now we're in the same, now we're being sued again, and we got, hundreds of, 500 units coming into town again. I've been here 28 years, and it's just been like a circle of people here, and it's like, I'm ready to move. I mean, there's, it's just getting really bad here. And I don't know why it can't be, done like somebody said. There was contractors in town, get the land, raise our taxes. How many houses here? Send a bill, $500 per house. I mean, it's the people aren't starving in this town. So, I mean, put something. And why did you not put the, the money for like, farmland preservation on the ballot with the county? I wouldn't have voted for the county if I saw my township on there. I would have voted for my township and not the county. I mean, now I'm going to vote for the county, and now I'm going to vote for the township. So now I'm doing it twice. I would have done, it's, things don't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. So that's all I have to say. So I hope the price is right, and I hope I get, do you want me to buy the radar gun and put it in my driveway and give you the stats?
Would you take one of the chief's business cards,
Oh,
please,
yeah.
and reach out to the chief directly?
Well, how come I can't get any? I've been asking this for, 3 months ago?
I can respond back
Yeah.
to that
Is-
when
Are
you're
you-
done speaking.
Yeah.
So
And
you
then
can
I
finish.
sent you something about affordable housing.
It's-
You got it, and
Yep.
everybody got
Thank
it.
you.
Okay. And as far as the lawyer, I agree with you. We need somebody else. Is it the same attorneys that dropped the ball on with Levana? So we need to get rid of them. And what
Thank
about,
you, sir. Your time is up.
what about the people in Milburn and whatnot?
So I can address the Montrose Road.
They're doing a good job.
So I can address the Montrose Road question about the traffic study. That was completed at the end of December, and they're putting together the information. From what it appears, they will not be changing the speed limit, but they have been increasing enforcement in that area. So again, I will certainly take that back to
This
the
is
chief
not a
of police.
conversation.
I will certainly take that back to the chief of police and let him know that, you've made some generous offers of things, but they have stepped up enforcement with that. The reason I smiled by one of your statements about the taxes is because the faces on the folks behind you was actually kind of funny when you said raise taxes. We'll all pay more. I know.
Sir,
Let me just
sir,
please respond. So with that, we work closely with the county on farmland and open space, and we depend on the county to buy open space as well. So this is not a competition here. right? We weren't looking to compete. Okay, who's going to vote yes for the county and yes for the township? We're in support of what they're doing with farmland and open space, just as they support what we do with farmland and open space. So I think this would be a great year to move forward with that, not to be in competition, because I do think that people may have voted for one, not the other, or vice versa. So with that being said, homeowners have every opportunity to preserve their farmland. The piece on Dutch Lane Road and Boundary Road, it was decided by whoever owned that property at the time not to preserve it for whatever reason. So whoever owns that property can preserve it and put it into farmland preservation, but it is currently a deed restricted property.
It's deed restricted, so it doesn't apply to preservation or acquisition because it
But
has a deed
somebody
restriction.
can still preserve it if they wanted to.
And
But
there will always be a constant, oops, sorry. I don't think I broke it.
You broke it.
Here.
That's 800.
I do believe there will always be a constant, parade of interveners. That will never end. And again, I know Mr. O'Brien doesn't like this analogy. Either the two things that most people get stuck in is either we miss something, and that's kind of where you're at. You must have missed. But we talked tonight about all of the things that you suggested we missed or dropped the ball on, which was group, senior. We've been doing that from the get-go. The problem is land in Colts Neck. It's the same problem that developers have, is the land is tough. Now, there's plenty of it, but it doesn't perk. So we're well deep into this. And we've navigated very successfully our obligations in this town, much more successfully than our neighbors in other towns. And I'll compare our numbers to any surrounding town. And I feel for you, because I was in the same spot you were in tonight a long time ago. And you really don't think it could be possible that a township could be forced to be doing these things, but it is true, and it's happening all over the state. If you are planning on leaving, you better get out of New Jersey then, because there's no place in New Jersey that's immune from this, period. And no town has ever successfully litigated this. None, not one. None. No one has beaten them. But I think successful mitigation and moving, and our law firm has done a commendable job of reducing our numbers. Nobody's happy about what got built. Nobody. But if we play our cards right, and we work together as a team, we could potentially, we're chipping away at that number together, as Deputy Mayor Bezzetta said, together, chipping away at that number through all sorts of things, and nothing is being left out. Nothing. And Committeeman Tabia tonight had a great suggestion, and it will be looked into. It will absolutely, if that's one of the options we can do, let's do it. We're all working together on this. Yes, and unfortunately, it got politicized during the campaign. Yes, and it was used as a scare tactic, and quite successfully. No, but it's a fact. It's out there. It's truth. It's the truth. It was used as a scare tactic to scare voters, and it worked. Fine. But let's all leave that behind, get together, and chip away at this number. And our strategy has steered us between the rocks thus far, not perfectly, right? They're going to get their pound of flesh. We're still in New Jersey. But I defy you to compare a comparable town on our borders. We're doing a lot better than all of our neighbors, all of them.
And we are actively working with all the people that have spoken who are in the construction world, developers, landowners. So we are meeting with those people. I wish it was as simple as you're going to build it, we're going to donate it, and then we're going to get credit. It's not as simple as that, unfortunately, with tax credits and all that kind of stuff. But we are definitely working on that.
It's a very high threshold. Finding a piece of land that qualifies, and then New Jersey's been doing this for 50 years, and they've gotten very tight on the rules and regulations on what you can do and what you can't do. And all affordables sound great, but it's a very high threshold for a township to meet. We could do something sooner rather than later, but it's going to cost millions and millions and millions of dollars. It's going to probably double our long-term debt in one fell swoop. And I don't know if that would actually cover all of our obligation. So the threshold for an all affordable is very, very high. There's lots of dead ends and lots of terms and conditions that make it very, very difficult to do. So what are most towns then forced to do? To go to the 20% set aside. That's how they make the threshold very, very high for all affordables. But
So-
we are working on it. We will continue to work on it, and hopefully we'll be able to identify a solution.
So just to put this in context, and I don't mean to get too much into the weeds here, but this is important to understand. I agree with you. Seniors, veterans, housing at 100%, so we eliminate the 5-to-1, sounds great. Consider this. I mentioned earlier, the name of the game is how do you fund the construction of those units, right? So there are two programs, 9% tax credit available by the state, 4.5% tax credit by the state. Both of those programs have a number of factors that you have to satisfy to qualify. They ain't easy. We just had a meeting this week with a consultant who suggested that very difficult for us to qualify for the 9% credit. So then she said, let's talk about the 4% credit. Here's an example. If we built an 80-unit affordable housing development, 80 units, which does not satisfy our obligation, because as we heard, it's 183. We build 80 units at 4.5% tax credit available to the builder. We, the township, are on the hook for $6 million for development. That does not include the cost of the acquisition of the property. Say that's another $3-4 million to acquire a piece of property large enough on which to build 80 units. Then we're on the hook for these package plants, these large septic systems that you have to build because we don't have sewers, which is why we took a durational adjustment. Let's say conservatively, that's $2 million. If you're doing the math, you're at $11 or $12 million. And then here's the kicker. We have to underwrite that if there's any shortfall in that construction, if there's a deficit in the cost of construction, guess who's on the hook to make up that deficit? You guessed it. Price is right. We are. You want to raise $500 per person? I did the quick math. That's $1.5 million. We have about 3,000 taxpayers, give or take. That raises $1.5 million. It's a drop in the bucket.
Sir,
Hold on.
I'm going to set the
Hold
time.
on.
This is not public discourse.
Well, I would like to respond too.
You don't have that right.
So, raising $500 taxes every year, I don't know a lot of people that want to pay one extra dollar. Yeah, maybe they will, but are we going to get 3,000 people to voluntarily pay $500-600? And that's $1.5 million. Before we get to 12 million, 13 million, we've exceeded the 10-year time period that we have to satisfy our obligation. So I wish it were easy. I really do. It would make my life a lot easier, and maybe I'd have more hair and it would be darker. It's not easy. If it was, every town would do it. Believe me, we're not missing anything. Believe me, we spend hours and hours and hours on this every week and every month studying this. And sir, I know you're shaking your head. Please come talk to me. I would love to have you talk with our lawyers and our professionals, because if you don't believe me, maybe you believe them. Pick a lawyer that you choose and let's meet with them, because maybe they know something we don't know. But that's the situation. So thank you.
Any other members from the public?
One other thing. Gentlemen, you also mentioned about the open space tax. This township did put it on the ballot a number of years ago. However, there was misinformation in that question that was on the ballot, so it could not go forward even though it did pass. But it was done, I don't know if it was last year, the year before, 2 years ago, but it was, just to answer your question.
Mrs. Kukalo.
Mary Ann Kukalo, 67 Blackbriar. I didn't plan on speaking tonight, but my phone is blowing up. People watching from at home. I first want to say I do appreciate everything you're doing. I've listened to these affordable housing meetings over and over again. And I know it's negative, but it's so negative. I just wish we could come up with, John has a breath of fresh air, come up with some different ideas. I know it's difficult. I know it's a lot of money, but even though we lowered it, if you multiply what we owe by 5, we're still looking at least 700 units. And that's why people are coming in and suing us. So let me go on to why I am here. People, thank you, Tony, for what you said. I agree with you 100%. I'm very sad tonight. We had an election. It's over. Get over it. Get over it. The fish stinks from the head down. Tonight is a disgrace, an absolute disgrace. I would like to see my board be professional. This is not a club. You are a municipal entity. And if you can't behave like one, we're going to do something to get rid of some of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Does Mrs. Mann have any time remaining?
Yes, she should, actually, does. She has a minute.
Mrs. Mann?
Thank you. I'm sorry, Ms. Mann, that's what you're trying to, that's what I was trying to say.
I would like to make one comment about the affordable housing. Years ago, Congressman Smith helped us and everybody else helped us. There was a group called NOPE, so don't give up hope. Neighbors opposed to the privatization of Earl Naval Weapons Station. We have a unique situation here. That base, if it got hit through their terrorism, we wouldn't exist,
That's right.
period. So that's why we need to petition and go after the people in Washington, Hegseth and all of them, to stop development in Colts Neck. Thank you, and we will help you do that.
Please contact Congressman Smith.
And that's exactly, frankly, what kudos to Mayor Viola for spearheading that. Kudos to Congressman Smith. Kudos to the Department of War and Department of Navy for doing that. So thank you.
Come on up.
Hi, Elaine Krasankis, 126 Montrose Road. I just wanted to solidify or reiterate that the amount that you were saying it costs per pupil in Colts Neck. Could you tell me that again, please?
I had estimated it at $30,000. I think it's closer to 34.
So if you're at
We
30,000,
have two members of the Board of Education here who can speak to that more authoritative, Mr. Scales and Ms. Cameron Scarpa.
okay. Right. So I was just trying to kind of figure out some of the math on this. If we figure out, I'm trying to see the impact that all of this housing's going to have in our community. If you're thinking $30,000 per student, and then we're adding how many units that we're saying, and I'm not just saying the affordable, I'm saying all around because you're doing a 5-to-1 here. We have going over on 537 right now. What is that, around 300?
360 units.
360. So 360, and then say, just put another 300 over by my house, which is probably going to happen. So I'm going to do 660. Sorry, I'm a little nervous, so times 660. So you're talking about $19,800,000 it's going to cost to educate these children. That's just an estimate. So when we think about our costs that's going to take for this development, we have to keep that in mind, that we have to worry about not spending so much more money. I love children. I have 5 of my own, but it's going to be, I'm at a point now where I'm looking at, hey, it would be nice to have senior housing here in Colts Neck so I could afford to stay here. And then to think about the fact that you're going to have to pay the taxes for all of this too. That's just my comment on that. Secondly, I wanted to see if you had an update or if you've discussed anything about, my husband had brought up earlier at an earlier meeting, suggested putting a traffic circle at the end of Montrose where Boundary and Crine are similar to at the end of Mr. Brock's land. Similar to the traffic circle that's over by Hewlett. Thank you.
So, thank you. Your numbers are spot on affordable housing, and that's really, you know, the peril that we face if we build all these homes at a 5-to-1 ratio. The cost, infrastructure, education is just through the roof, which is why we're focusing on seniors, veterans, and the 100% affordability, so that we reduce that number to the least number of homes possible. That's our focus. I agree with you. As far as the traffic circle, I think part of the issue, and I don't want to monopolize, but Route 4 is a county road, so.
Yeah, it is a
we have
county
to-
road. Now, Mr. Tabia, I was going to ask if you could just speak to
Ma'am,
that.
I recently retired after 18 years as the director of Monmouth County Public Works and Engineering. That particular intersection, what you see there is the blinking light on that is just a interim measure. There's a number of things that are being investigated there. One is a roundabout. There's a traffic signal being investigated there and some other traffic calming things similar to some of the other intersections in town and obviously throughout the county. And that is one of the things going to be visited and looked at next year or two. If there's any development on that particular corner, obviously that will also take effect and that developer will have to participate in that.
And also, Committeeman Tabia, could you speak on the Bucks Mill? I know that we had spoken a while back about the turn lane. I know that there's the turn lane that was put in at on 537 at Montrose, and I believe this was months and months ago that you had said that they were doing, the next one was Bucks Mill Road.
As always throughout the county, everything is set up as a priority. There is a number of intersections in town that they're being looked at or partnering with DOT, for instance, Conover and 34, that is going to get a traffic signal as a result of the county pushing for that at that particular intersection, and that is in design right now.
Thank you.
It's actually DOT scheduled for construction, scheduled, DOT, New Jersey, Trenton, a lot of variability. I believe 2028. Anyone else? Please step forward. Just tip.
Hello.
Hi.
Christine Tipton, 24 Crine Road. I'm here just to get some clarity, I guess. Someone had posted something. They're from Cold Snack, and there's some land clearing and stakes that are being installed on the ground for Stonehill Road. Is there a property being developed there? Because someone chimed in and said there's 68 unit development, 53 market rate townhouses, and 15 affordable apartments. Is that part of our, reducing 180, 83? Is that part of that?
That's
Like, what's the name
actually
of that
that's
one?
actually included in our previous plan.
Oh.
That's Charleston Meadows. That was
that's
approved by the
Charleston
planning
Meadows?
board a year ago, 2 years ago.
It was
Roughly, yeah.
definitely in 2000. I mean, it was started in like.
So it's just really coming into
2020.
fruition.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. So it's only just coming into fruition now that it's just kind of started.
Yeah, they just received their permits.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I know like all the other ones have, like names, like the Dutch Mill thing and Aubrey. And I was just wondering, my familiarity with the brand is only, I went to see the kids go trick or treating once. I wanted to find out what the deal is. So I wasn't quite sure where Freehold started and we ended. But, okay, so this is from a previous building thing, arrangement. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, that property was actually zoned for affordable housing for decades.
Okay.
And in 2016, 2017, 2018, it passed into an estate and then was sold to a developer.
Okay.
And that developer now the development's going to be called Charleston Meadows.
Oh, okay. Thanks a lot.
And Ms. Tipton, to answer your question, so the number that I gave you about what our obligation is, our remaining obligation, it's net of the Charleston Meadows. So we've already taken those
You took that
numbers
in.
into
I was
account.
hoping
when
you dropped it.
I
till
know,
it
me
went
too.
to 60. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Sir.
Bill Tipton, 24 Crown Road. Um, Obviously, affordable housing is the biggest issue in Colts Neck. I take some personal responsibility for not following as closely as I probably should have. Through the whole issue with the Colts Neck Manor, I think the feeling for most of the taxpayers was it was a transparency issue. The decisions were being made, and then it was being discussed with the public. And I think that was a major issue. I find it very refreshing that we have a different voice amongst all of you, because debate is healthy. It really is. We need to, when you have a bunch of yes people and everybody's on the same page, that's what creates a transparency issue for all of us. So it's nice when we hear conflicting discussions and conflicting arguments on things, because we get more information. I would prefer that it be kept a lot more professional moving forward if we can do that. I think that would be helpful. So I just wanted to get that out there. One of the things you're talking about, all these numbers, where if we were to build these units ourselves, the one number I haven't heard was what would we anticipate getting back from selling those units? Because I don't think that's been included in the calculations, at least for what I've heard tonight. So could we take and do the 80 units, sell those, and use that money towards building more units? We have a 10-year period, I believe, to get to the 183 or 189, whatever that is. So I think it is something to take into consideration. And if you could just give us a rough idea what that number would be as far as what we be getting back for the sale of those, I think that'd be helpful. Thank you very much.
So as to transparency, I know this is not a back and forth, but I would ask to see where this perception of a lack of transparency, having gone through setting up and conducting all those meetings, going way back at the very beginning of this, and then having discussed it at every single public meeting we held since. And I agree with you, we should keep this civil and keep politics out of it. But that's one of the things that was politicized. Lack of transparency. I don't know how much more unless I took a bass drum and marched up and down Colts Neck Boulevard with a sandwich board on, I don't know how much more we could have advertised it. Whenever we had a big break in it, and there were periods where things didn't happen, there's nothing to report. When there's nothing to report, there's nothing to report. But every time we had a decent amount of information, we would hold a big town hall meeting. And some of them were bigger than others. And some of them were packed. Standing room only. So I'm glad you're satisfied with the current state, but I don't remember looking back at a time when the communication was much different than it is now, other than we're on YouTube now, broadcasting to 40s of people, 50s of people.
I just want to say something. I do think the nature of affordable housing legislation leads some people to feel that the municipality wasn't as transparent. So in previous rounds of affordable housing, everything was done behind closed doors in courtrooms and judges' chambers. The new legislation is a different process in place with mediation. It's different legal terms. So we do have a little bit more flexibility to discuss things than, say, from 10 years ago. So I wasn't involved that long ago. I was coming 10 years ago to meetings and stuff in person because I couldn't live stream them. But I do think the nature of the legislation has changed to afford more transparency with some of those specific details. And I also wanted to just address the other issue of building, buying, selling. A municipality, we do not have a housing authority in Colts Neck. We are not in the business of developing, building, and selling. And the only way we could do that is if we developed a housing authority, which is a whole nother layer of government that a town the size of Colts Neck is not realistic. As you move to towns like, say, Homedale, Wall, they're a little bit bigger. Some of them that make sense for them to have a housing authority. So we're not really in the business, and we can't build and sell properties, which is why we have to rely on some of these nonprofit developers. which we are working with to try and do that and make it financially advantageous for them to build here and do that. So unfortunately, we don't have that ability legally to do that unless we were to kind of form a whole different layer of government, which again, I'm not necessarily opposed to, but we haven't done that yet for that reason. But with that being said, we certainly can discuss that moving forward. So. That's all I had.
Mr. Tipton, he's got a minute or two left, I believe.
He's 2 minutes left.
Please.
With regard to the housing authority, is it possible to set up a regional housing authority with Homedale, Wall Township, some of the other communities in Monmouth County here, and set up almost a countywide or regional housing authority where it would make more sense?
Good point.
And one other thing, my understanding of Mount Laurel Act when it was first created was that the idea behind it was to give children from lower income homes a better chance at a better education in more affluent areas. I don't know how accurate what I heard is, but with the Colts Neck Manor, there's 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units. Are all of the low income or affordable units 1 bedroom?
No.
Or no?
No,
Okay, because that's what I heard, and
It's a
it just
combination.
didn't seem to make any sense.
No, it's a combination. There's 15 3-bedrooms, and those, all 15 are affordable.
Okay, very
And then there's the majority of the other units will be 2-bedroom, then 1-bedroom.
Okay, so the low income are the 3-bedroom, then that makes a lot more sense to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Good evening. My name is James Kreutz. I live at 36 Rivers Edge Drive in Colts Neck.
I'm sorry, so can you spell that last name?
Kreutz, it's Creutz. Okay. I'm a little concerned. One of my concerns when I was coming here is the development of the property on 537 that is going to be close to the naval base. I have some flying experience. I know that airspace, you cannot fly over a naval or Army station or whatever. What are the rules of the distance that we have to give as a buffer zone from where those homes can be built? And someone was saying they could be 2 or 3 story high, which could give an advantage point, God forbid, to terrorists if they want to place themselves there and they have a bird's eye view of what's going on there. So that's one of my concerns. I'm also a veteran. And also, I'm not far from that location where they're going to build. So, and also, you're saying it's 30,000 for a student, but how about, do we have the school in place? Do we have, like you said, the infrastructure, the buses to bring the students there? Do we have, it's only 1 lane, basically 537. How's that going to handle the traffic? I'm going to need traffic lights. That's kind of a huge impact on us who live there. And then what's going to happen if they put, what were you saying, 300 units are going to go in there? Where is that tax dollar going to be spent for us? Is there going to be a benefit by having this hardship put on us to help alleviate some of our, I'm 67, so I'm already retired, but I don't have, we're paying big taxes where we are. But I'd like to see that we're protected. And also the other thing, the other 2 areas, they're farms one on Dutch Lane, isn't farm, I'm learning these things where it can be preserved or it's just farm, but they have a right to sell. If they've been a farm for 30 years, they're entitled to sell and make a huge profit because they've been saving a ton of money. Because I have a little knowledge, like if you have a 30-acre farm, they take 1 acre and they tax your house. And the other 29 acres, they're paying maybe $10,000 for 29 more acres. Is that fair to us that, this is going to be going on where they're going to be? But the main thing is the infrastructure, the schools, transportation, all that's going to be available, or is it going to be put on our shoulders to pay for to do this? I thought we do enough without having to, especially since it seems you have a lot of resistance here. You don't want too much expansion done in Colts Neck. So we have a right to say, like, I thought also, like where I live, I'm on 1 acre and a third. That's for one home. You can't put two homes on, I thought it was like 1 acre or 2 acre size lots. How can you approve now 300 units on 20 acres or 30 acres? It doesn't make sense. So if you have some answers, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah,
All really good questions. All the implications that a township receives from this overdevelopment, and I'm going to say it's overdevelopment because I'll speak for myself. I'm not against affordable housing. I'm against mandates that drive overdevelopment. That's what I'm against. All of the implications, whether you need more personnel in police, more DPW, more equipment, more fire equipment, you need professional firefighters, EMS, et cetera, et cetera. All of those implications are borne by the taxpayer. There's no payback from the county, there's from the state, from taxation, et cetera, et cetera. Regarding the taxes that you can assume that you'll receive from these developments, I'll use the Levana as an example. So back in early 2024, we met with the department heads and we challenged them to go through all of their implications that they could see with Levana coming online. They're projecting the first occupancy would be the second quarter of this year. What are the implications? What does it impacts on headcount or personnel, equipment, et cetera, et cetera? They came back with all the information. That's where the 2 new officers came from this year. We put them in the budget in 2025. We just appointed the second officer tonight. So the police department will have the staffing, as the chief had noted in his presentation, to meet the demand of the Levana. But we're bearing that until they start paying taxes for all of the units, which is about a year from now. When it's fully occupied, the taxation that's received, the ad valorem, the assessed value taxation that's received from the non-affordable units will pay those implications. However, adding potentially another 950 homes, because that's roughly what the number between Wellspring, Squilari, the Aubrey Road, and Dutch Lane, you add those up, that's roughly 950. We're nowhere near being able to incur those implications. Regarding the zoning at the base, there is, in 2016 and 2017, the Navy conducted a joint land use study with the Monmouth County Planning Board for base resiliency. The base was on, the pier was under 12 feet of water in Sandy. They could not access the pier. Naval Weapons Station Earl is the only weapon station on the entire eastern seaboard of the United States that provides munitions directly to the Atlantic Fleet. Okay, most of what you see going on in the world right now is coming out of Earl. There is a 3,000-foot setback as a result of that joint land use study where they don't want to see any high-density development. They don't want anything of height, et cetera, because you're right. If I have a 5-story building at the base of the border, I can easily look at the rail lines. I can look at rail cars being loaded. I can note times they're moving. I can note when they're going to cross certain roads on their way up to Leonardo, et cetera. All of that is prohibited use. It's not compatible according to the joint land use study. That is one of our defenses. We are fighting Wellspring and we're fighting Squilari because of that. The fight on Dutch Lane is because of the deed restriction. Now, a deed restriction property is not applicable to purchase or preservation. It already has a deed restriction on it. And as Deputy Mayor Bezet had mentioned in his comments, if you start chipping away at deed restrictions, where does it stop? So there's participants, farm owners that participated in farmland preservation a couple decades ago. Hey, I want you to lift the deed restriction on my property because it's now worth 100 times more than when I preserved it.
Too bad.
So what is we've got to protect and defend the deed restrictions, and we will. So the primary reason why that 3,000-foot setback was put in place by the Navy was because of public safety. There's a lot of munitions on the base.
How much land is left from that cushion to where they could build homes?
Well,
So your time is done at this
All
point.
right.
But no, he can answer. Your time is done.
So I'll show you a map. We have a map. We can even have it posted. I'll send it to the administrator. We have the map that was prepared. You can see where the line is. You see the baseline coming from the pier, and then it goes around in Colts Neck around the base. There's a 3,000-foot barrier around that entire area that is supposed to be non-compatible for high-density development. Public safety, national security. Now, if the court wants to say to Colts Neck, sorry, you lose, you're going to build there, that means the court made a decision that public safety and national security are surmounted by affordable housing. That's what that means. So we will continue to fight.
And sir, you brought up a good point, and everything else he didn't go over, all unfunded mandates. You're absolutely right. Unfunded mandates. He touched on it, Mayor Viola touched on it, but yes, the state takes into no account GAD expenses.
Good questions. Thank you. And thank you for your service. Anyone else? Seeing no hands, may I have motion to close public comment?
Moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next Township Committee meeting is January 28th at 7 PM in this chamber. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. We are adjourned.
Next Township Committee meeting. We usually announce the next Township Committee meeting.